Yesterday something changed, not on your screen, not in a message, not in some obvious sign you could point to and prove. It changed beneath all of that, in the quiet space where feelings move before words ever arrive. You may think nothing happened because the outer world still looks the same. But stay with me, because this is where most people miss the truth. The person who thought they could live without you may still be acting distant, still silent, still trying to move through life as if this connection meant nothing. Yet something has shifted in the space between you. You felt it. That strange pull, that sudden heaviness, that calm after chaos, that deep inner knowing you could not explain. And when energy changes at the root, reality starts changing after it. Not always loudly, not always fast, but it starts. What changed yesterday was not just your mood or your thoughts. It was the pattern, the current, the invisible rhythm you both have been moving inside. And once that rhythm changes, the story can no longer stay the same. So before you scroll away, listen closely, because what you are about to understand may explain why their silence feels different now, why your heart is acting different now, and why the connection you thought was fading may actually be entering its most powerful turning point. You were taught to believe that connection only exists through calls, texts, touch, and physical presence. You were taught that if someone is not reaching out, then nothing is happening. But life is rarely that simple. There are things your mind cannot measure, even when your spirit feels them clearly. Some bonds do not end just because distance appears. Some connections keep moving under the surface, even when two people stop speaking. Every thought, every emotional shift, every moment you reclaim your peace creates movement in the field between you and the one you cannot stop thinking about. That is why certain people feel each other even in silence. That is why one person suddenly thinks of the other for no clear reason. That is why someone walks away, yet still cannot fully escape what they felt. The bond may no longer look active in the outer world, but on the inside it still breathes, still reacts, still responds. And the moment your inner state changes, the entire dynamic begins to change with it. This is not about fantasy, it is about patterns. It is about how your energy teaches people how to meet you, how to remember you, how to feel your absence, and how to respond when your presence is no longer available in the same way. And this is where everything starts to turn. Not when they decide, not when they text, when you shift first. For too long, you may have been chasing without moving at all. Silent on the outside, desperate on the inside. Not sending a message, but still sending need. Not calling their phone, but calling for them in your mind every hour. Watching, waiting, wondering. Replaying the last conversation, checking for signs, reading into small things, hoping that if you think hard enough, care deeply enough, ache long enough, somehow it will pull them back. But that kind of energy does not draw love closer. It pushes it away. When your thoughts are filled with fear, pressure, longing, and emotional hunger, that feeling travels further than you think. People may not explain it with words, but they feel it. They sense the weight. They sense the expectation. They sense that your peace depends on what they do next. And the moment someone feels responsible for your emotional balance, they often step back even more. Not because the connection is fake, but because your energy has stopped flowing freely. It has started gripping, and nothing beautiful grows well inside a clenched hand. This matters more than most people realize, because the issue was never only what you said or did, it was what you carried. It was the signal beneath the silence. And when that signal changes, the reaction changes too. This part is important, so do not miss it. The connection starts changing when the chase ends inside you first. The moment you stop chasing for real, not as a trick, not as a performance, not as a strategy to make them panic, but as a true inner release, the entire balance begins to correct itself. When your attention returns to your own life, your own healing, your own joy, your own future, something powerful happens. The pressure leaves the connection. The emotional grip loosens. The field between you opens. What was tight becomes spacious. What was heavy becomes lighter. And suddenly, they can feel the difference, even if they do not understand why. Your absence lands differently when you are no longer secretly pulling on them from within. Your silence feels different when it is rooted in peace instead of pain. That change can create a strange reaction in them: unease, curiosity, restlessness, random memories, sudden dreams. A feeling that something is missing, even if they cannot name it yet. They may begin to notice the space where your energy used to sit. They may start wondering why it feels quieter now, why your presence feels farther away, why the version of you they assumed would always be waiting now feels untouchable. And that is when reality starts moving in ways you cannot force. Sometimes the shift pulls someone closer, sometimes it reveals they were never meant to return, but both outcomes free you. Both outcomes move you forward. Both outcomes break the old cycle. And once the old cycle breaks, your life stops belonging to the pain that built it. A deep truth hides inside every painful bond. The person in front of you often reflects something unfinished inside you. Their distance touches your fear of being left. Their silence touches the parts of you that learn to stay quiet. Their hesitation touches the ways you have doubted your own value. Their inability to choose you touches every moment you abandoned yourself just to keep someone else comfortable. This is why some connections feel larger than life. They are not only about romance, they are mirrors. They bring your wounds to the surface so clearly that you can no longer ignore them. That does not mean you caused someone else's behavior. It means the connection exposed what still needed healing in you. And this is powerful, because once you see the pattern, you stop wasting your life trying to fix them while your own heart remains unhealed. You stop explaining your worth to someone committed to misunderstanding it. You stop trying to prove your love to people who only know how to receive fragments. You stop making your value depend on another person's confusion. Instead, you turn inward. You notice where you still betray yourself. You notice where you settle. You notice where you beg for crumbs while calling it devotion. And when that awareness becomes honest, your energy begins to change at the root. Not in a shallow way, not just with positive thoughts, in a real way. The kind of way that changes standards, boundaries, choices, and the emotional tone of your entire life. And once that happens, the mirror must change too. There is a level of connection that speaks without language. You have felt it before. That moment when someone enters your mind for no reason, then later you learn they were thinking of you too. A dream so vivid it feels like a meeting. A sudden wave of emotion that does not seem to belong only to you. A strange timing. A repeating symbol. A song at the exact moment you were remembering them. People dismiss these things quickly because they do not fit into clean logic. But deep down, many know there is more happening than the eye can see. Some people remain linked through memory, emotion, pattern, and inner imprint long after the physical connection changes form. That is why silence does not always mean absence. That is why someone can leave, yet still feel near in a way that makes no sense to the rational mind. It is also why your inner world matters so much. Because the way you think of them, feel them, release them, bless them, or cling to them affects the shape of the connection you continue feeding. If you hold them with pain, the bond feels painful. If you hold them with peace, the bond changes tone. If you let go with trust, the energy opens into something new. And here is the part most people overlook. Just because you feel them does not mean you are meant to chase them. Sometimes feeling a bond is not a call to pursue. Sometimes it is a call to transform. And that transformation is where your real power begins. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you pretend the connection never mattered. It does not mean you harden your heart, shut down your feelings, or act cold just to look strong. Real detachment is softer than that and stronger than that at the same time. It means you stop making one outcome the only way your life can feel whole. It means you can still desire love without collapsing if it arrives in a different form than expected. It means you release the grip of need while keeping the truth of what you felt. That kind of freedom changes everything, because need sends out fear. Need says, I am incomplete without this. Need says, if they do not return, I have lost my chance at happiness. And that frequency keeps you trapped in waiting, stuck in longing, and blind to the life trying to open around you. But peaceful desire feels different. It says, I know what I want, but I also trust what is meant for me. It says, I can love deeply and still remain centered. It says, if this returns, I will meet it with wisdom. If it does not, I will still rise. That is the shift. That is the new energy, and it cannot be faked for long. You actually have to build a life that feels nourishing enough that their absence no longer destroys your center. You have to become so rooted in your own light that love becomes something you share, not something you beg for. When that happens, attraction changes, possibility changes, you change. You will know the shift is real because your inner world starts behaving differently before the outer world gives you any proof. The obsession begins to loosen, not all at once, but enough for you to notice. You stop reaching for your phone every few minutes. You stop checking for signs in every little thing. Hours pass, then whole days, and your mind is no longer circling the same pain with the same hunger. You start breathing deeper, sleeping better, thinking clearer. The confusion that once ruled you begins to break apart. In its place comes a kind of quiet honesty. You see what was real. You see what was projection. You see where the bond was meaningful and where your own longing added stories that were never truly there. This clarity does not make you bitter. It makes you free. And then other things begin to happen. You laugh again without guilt. You focus on your goals again without feeling disloyal to the connection. You care about your future again in a way that does not depend on whether someone returns. Little joys start coming back. Music sounds good again. Food tastes better. Time feels less heavy. Even memories of them begin to change flavor. You can think of them without breaking. You can hear their name without sinking. You can remember the good without begging for more. Stay with this part because it matters. The greatest sign of transformation is not that they come back immediately. It is that your peace comes back first. And from that peace, everything else finally has room to unfold. When your energy changes, people feel it in different ways. Some feel the loss of access. Some feel drawn in by your calm. Some feel exposed because your growth forces them to face everything they have avoided. This is why your shift may trigger movement even before words arrive. They may begin thinking of you more. They may feel restless at odd hours. They may wonder why your energy no longer feels available in the same way. They may suddenly remember details they once ignored. The places you went, the way you looked at them, the safety of your attention, the comfort of being emotionally held by someone who truly saw them. When that is gone, or even just less available, it can echo inside them more loudly than your constant presence ever did. Human nature often notices value more clearly in absence than in availability. But do not misunderstand this. Your healing is not a trick to create panic. It is not a method to manipulate their nervous system into chasing you. It is the natural result of becoming whole enough to stop leaking your life force towards someone who has not yet learned how to hold it. If they return from that space, they return to meet a different version of you. If they do not, They still lose access to the version of you that overgave, overexplained, and overweighted. Either way, your evolution becomes the turning point. And what happens next no longer comes from desperation. It comes from alignment. It comes from truth. It comes from the fact that energy always rearranges around what is real. This is why you must stop making them the center of your emotional universe. The more you build your entire inner life around whether they come back, the smaller your world becomes. Your joy shrinks. Your imagination shrinks. Your confidence shrinks. Everything starts revolving around one person's decision, and that is too much power to hand away. Bring it back. Put that energy into the parts of your life that can actually grow. Create something. Learn something. Move your body. Change your space. Rebuild your routines. Spend time with people who do not make love feel like a test you keep failing. Find activities that pull you so deeply into the moment that you forget to check the past. This is how your frequency rises in a real way, not by repeating empty words, not by pretending you are over it while still feeding the obsession underneath, but by living fully, honestly, daily. Your energy becomes richer when your life becomes fuller, and a full life sends a stronger message than any speech ever could. It says, I have returned to myself. It says, I no longer worship what wounded me. It says, I can still hold love in my heart without making pain my home. That kind of presence becomes magnetic because it is no longer asking to be chosen. It has already chosen itself. And the moment you truly choose yourself, every connection in your life begins to reveal what it actually is. There are many futures available from this point. In one, this person comes back changed by distance, changed by losing access to the old dynamic, changed by finally understanding what your presence meant. In another, they remain where they are, and someone new enters your life carrying less confusion, more maturity, more capacity, more peace. In another, you spend a season completely on your own and discover that your deepest healing was never waiting in another person's return at all. This is why letting go of one fixed outcome matters so much. The mind becomes trapped when it says, only one ending can make me whole. But life is larger than that. Love is larger than that. Your future is larger than that. The more tightly you cling to one form, the harder it is to receive the better form trying to reach you. So hold your desire, yes, but hold it gently. Let your heart remain open without chaining it to one script. Trust that what truly matches your growth will not require you to abandon yourself to keep it alive. Trust that what belongs in your life will be able to meet the version of you that is healing, rising, and becoming more honest by the day. And if something falls away because it cannot meet that version, let it go with dignity. That loss is not punishment. It is redirection. It is life clearing what no longer fits the person you are becoming. And sometimes that clearing is the miracle you were asking for in a form you did not expect. Now think about what may have happened yesterday. Maybe it was the day you got tired of replaying the past. Maybe it was the day you cried and actually released something instead of feeding it. Maybe it was the day you stopped checking. Maybe it was the day you finally admitted that you deserve a love that does not need to be convinced. Maybe it was the day you turned your attention back toward your own future, even for a brief moment, and in that moment, the field shifted. That is often how these changes begin. Quietly, not with fireworks, not with an instant message, with a decision, a breath, a boundary, a surrender, a soft but real inner turning. From there, a new pattern starts building, one where you are no longer the abandoned version of yourself, one where your heart is no longer begging to be rescued by the same thing that broke it, one where peace slowly replaces pressure, and dignity replaces confusion, and power replaces panic. If they feel it, they feel it. If they move, they move. If they return, you will see with clearer eyes. If they do not, your life will still keep opening. That is the beauty of this shift. It does not trap you in waiting. It releases you into becoming. And once you enter that path, your energy begins calling in what matches your new standard, your new center, your new truth. This is the part where your story stops being about who left and starts being about who you became because they did. So if you feel that something changed, trust yourself. Do not rush to prove